Good afternoon, members of Parliament, support staff, visitors in the Public Tribune, radio listeners, TV viewers, and those viewing by social media, and members of the media wherever you are as well. Welcome to the continuation of public meeting number 8 of today, Thursday, December 14th, 2023. I would like to give a special word of welcome to our Ministers of Finance and Justice, Minister Artwell Irion and Minister Anna Richardson and their support team. We have established a quorum of 8 members. And before we stand for a moment of silence, this morning, we were informed by the Parliament of Curaçao of the passing of the Member of Parliament, Mr. Amerigo Today. On October 22nd to 24, 2023, Mr. Today was on St. Martin for the tripartite meeting as the chairman of the Kingdom Affairs Committee for Curaçao, and part of the delegation, of course. He participated in the debates, and on November 22nd, it was announced that the leader of the movement for the future of Curaçao, Movimiento Futuro Curaçao, that he had health problems. Shortly afterward, Mr. Today was admitted to the Curaçao Medical Center, where he fell ill and went into a coma. Amerigo Today served as chairman of the Parliament of Curaçao between November and December 2012, and from March 24, 2017 to May 11, 2017. We have members of Parliament of St. Martin who knew him well in the capacity of chairman, vice chairman, member of Parliament, and personally I knew him as well as part of the Antillean and Curaçao Volleyball Federation. On behalf of the Parliament of St. Martin, I would like to extend our deepest condolences to the members and staff of the Parliament of Curaçao, and of course to his family, his immediate family and loved ones. We wish them much strength in this time of grief, and we pray that his soul rest in eternal peace. And now we would stand for a moment of silence, and I'm sure those of us who knew him will bear him in mind as well at this moment. Thank you. Notice of absence has been received from the following members: MP Grisha Heiliger Martin, MP Solange Duncan, and MP Christophe Emmanuel. At this time, I ask if any member has any notification. No, there are none. Today we have as agenda points, for the public meeting just okay. I have notice of absence, not absence, lateness as well received by MP Westcott Williams earlier today. We have as agenda point Ontwerplandsverordening tot wijziging van de Landsverordening begroting 2023. Landsverordening begrotingswijziging 2023, Zittingsjaar 2023 2024 stuk 173. Ingekomen stuk 222 van het jaar 2023, 2024, de dato 21 november 2023. And when we go over now to English, it is the draft national ordinance amending the national ordinance budget for the year 2023. The National Ordinance Budget Amendment 2023 of the parliamentary year 2023-2024, document 173, and it is listed as incoming document 228 of the parliamentary year 2023-2024 and is dated November 21st, 2023. Please note that as established during the start of this meeting, we will not be handling agenda point 2, and for that reason, we will now continue this meeting with agenda point 3. We now go over to agenda point 3, which I just read. Parliament received the draft national ordinance amending the National Ordinance Budget 2023 on November 21st of the current year. All members have received a copy of the draft national ordinance, and it can be found in Parliament General Team. A Central Committee meeting was held on December 5th and 6th, 2023, on the subject matter in which the members of Parliament posed their questions and the Minister of Finance answered these questions on behalf of the government. A report has been made on the deliberations in the Central Committee and was sent to the government, as well as to members of Parliament. The government answered this report with a so-called note following the final report, which is to be found in incoming document 270 of the current parliamentary year and dated November 11th, 2023. This meeting commenced on Tuesday, December 12th. I seem to have made a mistake and said November, dated December 11th, 2023. This meeting commenced on Tuesday, December 12, 2023, in which the Minister of Finance and the Minister of Justice gave a presentation on the draft budget amendment 2023. Thereafter, the members of Parliament were given the opportunity to pose questions to the government in the first round for 30 minutes. The government answered the questions posed by the members of Parliament in the first round through the Minister of Finance. After that, the members were given the opportunity to pose their clarification questions. This meeting continued yesterday, December 13th, in which the clarifications were further answered by the government, and then the meeting continued in the second round with members posing questions to the government, this time for 15 minutes. During the second round, two draft motions were submitted by MP Rolando Bryson. The government then answered the questions posed by the members of Parliament in the second round. After that, the members were given the opportunity to pose their clarifications questions, to which the government responded again. We have come to the end of the deliberations on this agenda point. Before going over to the handling of the two draft motions submitted, I would like to give the floor to the Minister of Finance to share the government's views on the draft motions submitted. I think I would need to adjourn for a few minutes to give the Minister the opportunity to peruse the motions and whether the Minister of Finance and or the Minister of Justice, whichever would want to. We adjourn the meeting until 5:14. I'm on New York time. 4:15, 4:14. We are back, and we now turn to the Minister of Finance. If you have any objection or anything to say about the motions, no, the draft motions need no further comment by the Minister. Does anyone request, let me read the first draft motion as a matter of fact. The first draft motion reads, the Parliament of St. Martin in its meeting of today, December 13th, 2023, considering the market for taxis in St. Martin is currently heavily reliant on tourism. St. Martin has a resident population exceeding 60,000, including a significant number on the French side, representing a substantial local potential user base for taxi service. If 10% of the population were to utilize taxis at a rate of 300 per month, this would generate over $1.8 million monthly for taxi drivers and thousands of dollars for taxi operators. Increased use of taxis by local residents has the potential to alleviate traffic congestion. Resolves, for the Ministry of TIA to formulate and present a comprehensive plan, including draft budgets and policy proposals aimed at encouraging the use of taxis by local residents. The plan should encompass feasibility study, conduct a thorough feasibility study with the objective of achieving a target of up to 10% of the population using taxis regularly. The study should explore factors influencing local taxi usage and propose strategies to achieve the desired increase. This should be completed by March 2024. Based on a positive result of the feasibility study, the next step should be marketing program. Develop a marketing program for taxi operators to incentivize local usage at a special rate. This program should aim to make taxi services more accessible and more affordable for residents, thereby promoting regular use. Improved dispatching system. Establish a policy for an enhanced local dispatching system that streamlines taxi services, making them more efficient and responsive to local needs. The system should prioritize user-friendly technology to facilitate easy access to taxi services. Inclusive approach. Implement an inclusive approach that does not discriminate between associated and non-associated taxi members. All qualified taxi license holders should have equal opportunities to participate in and benefit from the initiatives proposed in this plan. And goes over to the order of the day. Copies of this motion will be sent to the Government of St. Martin and His Excellency the Governor. The motion submitted by MP Rolando Bryson and co-signed by MP Melissa Gums and yours truly, William Marlin. As the presenter of the motion wish to speak to the draft motion? No need. It speaks for itself. Does any member want Hove de Stemming? MP De Weaver requests Hove de Stemming. So a voice vote, and we therefore go over to a voice vote. You shake up the bingo box. G55. Number 15. There is none. So that we start at the top. Number 10. It's like when you're playing bingo. Number 3. Does anyone require motivating their vote? You want to motivate your vote as well. MP Ludmila de Weaver.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Chair. And good afternoon to everyone here present. When it was present, when the motion was presented to me, I have to explain that what I got from it was a little bit of a heebie-jeebies because of the fact that lately you saw a bunch of licenses being given out, and then you also saw the license procedure closed. So the question, I thought it was questionable. So that questionable nature about it looks a little bit that this is also sort of like a quick fix to it. It's also at the same time where you have uncertainty around the same current minister of TEAT that also said that Uber was going to come and it would have to be received and accepted here. So with all of the question around this is why I can't support this motion. And I wanted to make that very clear, the reasons why behind it, because of it was just not enough clarity for me. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, MP Ludmila de Weaver. Does anybody else? MP Angelique Rumu. Was no mistake? Okay. There are no more requests for motivation. So we now immediately go over to voting, and we start at MP Rolando Bryson, number 3.
MP Rolando Bryson.
4.
MP Melissa Gums.
4.
MP George Ponteflet.
4.
MP Hyacinth Richardson. MP Angelique Rameau.
4.
MP Ludmila de Weaver.
Against.
MP Siddharth Bijlani.
4.
Vice Chairman of Parliament William Marlin.
4. The draft motion has been accepted by 6 votes in favor and 2 votes against. We go over immediately to draft motion number 2. The Parliament of St. Martin, in its meeting of December 13th, 2023, considering Article 2 of the National Ordinance on the Supervision of Banking, it is prohibited for anyone to conduct the business of a credit institution in St. Martin without prior authorization from the bank. Online banking services such as Revolut are not currently established in St. Martin within the context of the aforementioned ordinance. Residents of St. Martin utilize banking services like Revolut for engaging in e-commerce activities. Resolves for the Minister of Finance to request for the central bank to publish clarification and/or guidelines on the rights and responsibilities of residents of St. Martin utilizing online e-commerce services, particularly focusing on platforms like Revolut, and goes over to the order of the day. Copies of this motion will be sent to the government of St. Martin, His Excellency the Governor, and this draft motion is signed by MP Rolando Bryson, MP George Ponteflet, and yours truly, William Marlin. Does anyone request A voice vote? No. So the motion is unanimously accepted. And we now go over to the budget amendment. According to Article 57 of the Rules of Order, we now go over to voting on the draft National Ordinance, amending the National Ordinance Budget 2023, Parliamentary Year 2023-2024, document 173. We will vote on Article 1 till 30, from Articles 1 until 3. The intitulé, the title, the considerance or the consideration, the draft in its entirety. Does any member request voting by roll call? No, then the draft law is accepted unanimously. According to Article 88, subsection 1 of the Constitution of St. Martin, Parliament shall notify the government that Parliament has approved this draft law in its public meeting of today, Tuesday, December 12, 2023, at 4:26:09 p.m. The date is wrong on the clock. Today is December 13th, 14th rather, 2023. And the time was 4:24. I want to thank the Council of Ministers and their support staff for their presence here today and for providing the necessary information. I want to thank you, members of Parliament, for coming out, even though you've had a very long day today. Some of you standing in the hot sun, bringing the Christmas cheer to the people of St. Martin, and particularly those who were in Phillipsburg this morning. And I thank you all for coming. This meeting is adjourned, as we still have agenda point 2 to handle when we do continue with this public meeting. I thank you all for coming and have a good afternoon.